1983, individual churches and groups approached for assistance would try to handle it separately. It became apparent some people were getting too much help, and some people didn't know how to get any help at all. In the beginning, Mary Drake, who was the director of the local War on Poverty's EOA office, handled requests from residents for assistance and interacted frequently with local churches. She recognized the growing need within the community of North Fulton, but knew that public funding was limited and invited representatives of local churches to discuss ways to assist the EOA.
In the very beginning, everything was not only small but very tight. And back then, Roswell was a different community. Most of the people that were needing help were older people. There were some with children, but it was just not a very large area. But it was growing rapidly. And with rapid growth, problems come.
David Sonnenberg, a member of Roswell Presbyterian Church, introduced the idea of a program and, with Mary's assistance, outlined the need for a food pantry and a place that would assist with short-term emergency financial assistance. A special account was opened under the direction of Mary Drake and Francis McGahee, which was called North Fulton Community Charities. NFCC incorporated in 1983 and gained its 501c3 recognition in 1988. David became the board president and served for the next 25 years. Mary Drake retired from the EOA in 1988, but continued to work part-time handling NFCC assistance requests.
We had to spread the word on a linear fashion. The more people that became familiar with the new organization, North Fulton Community Charities, the easier it was going to be to get support from groups, churches, organizations, etc., be it food, be it clothes, be it financial assistance, be it volunteer help, whatever the case may be. And it was not a problem to get the churches work with it. They were all for it because they didn't have to be on the firing line of each person coming through. Now that we were growing, the structure was in place, so then we could go out, and if we wanted to bring a group in to see what we were doing, if we wanted to get a church involved, we now had people on site that from volunteers that could show it. And as we grow, we knew we had to have somebody to help Mary. And Barbara was on our board, and we approached Barbara.
So when I first came to help volunteer at North Fulton Community Charities, there was this enigma named Barbara Duffy. And Barbara's the person that encourages people, has compassion for the people in our community. I would truly say that Barbara is the backbone, and she is the heart of this operation.
When we first started, we had one room, it was about 15 by 15, inside the community clothes closet. The room had the walls were lined, three walls lined with food, shelves with food, and we actually had a curtain over the shelves so that it kind of looked a little nicer. And we had a table. Mary sat on one side, I sat on the other. We had one chair so that if a visitor came who was looking for help, there was one place for someone to sit. And that's where we interacted with families who needed help.
In the early 90s, NFCC expanded into 5,000 square foot of rented space in the North Fulton Human Service Center that housed several other agencies. Over the next decade, NFCC outgrew their space with lines trailing outside the door. So, on a leap of faith, the board approved and purchased a 20,000 square foot commercial building that formerly sold motorcycles that they could grow into.
So in my mind, when we moved, it was a God thing. About a month after we moved, because we moved towards the end of July in 2005, the end of August, Katrina hit. Give me a second. The end of August, Katrina hit, devastating a large portion of the population of the United States. There were people who lived in their homes and lived in their communities for generations that no longer had a place to live. I believe God provided a place for these people to be able to come to, be able to be treated with dignity, with respect, and with compassion that would help them put their lives back together.
The greatest needs that we have here are you, first and foremost. We need you and your support. We need donations of food for the food pantry. We need donations for our thrift shop. We need donations of funds that we can turn right around and pay someone's rent or put gas in the car, buy medicine, make it possible for this individual to continue in our community.
That was the plan when we put it together. It was to spread the word and to bring others in the program.
You can't cure all the problems of the world, but you can make things better, one person at a time.
We couldn't do it without you. It takes our whole community working together to make this work. We need you to be part of what we do, because together we can help.